Until Death Info, it's your man Kil.
And I'm Dr. Roz.
Back for another month. Videos, different things to chop it up about. But what we wanted to talk about real quick was I had been off Facebook for a minute. So when I got back on, I was posting stuff about till death, and some of my people was like, yo, we didn't even know you talked about marriages. And some of these people I haven't seen in 20 plus years, so they're like, you're talking about marriage, really? But just kind of wanted to give a rundown on why we do what we do, why Dr. Roz does what she does, that she's a real doctor. This isn't some, just throwing a title on it, so.
Totally a real doctor. Got the paperwork to prove it.
Yeah, so why don't you chop it up about kind of what you do,
okay,
your background, and why you do what you do.
Well, actually, my background, I am a clinical psychologist. I specialize in child and family as well as forensics, but I've done the gamut of everything. I do couples therapy. I do sexual abuse, trauma-focused work. I do in-home therapy. I also am a professor, so I actually teach psychology at several different schools, including graduate schools. I also consult with immigration to make sure they have adequate mental health programs at the residential facilities. And I also, I do a lot. I also am a relationship expert for HRSA.gov, which is a federal program. And I'm the new relationship expert for their women's health program. It's a new initiative that they are trying to produce. So I have the honor of being the relationship expert person on the panel. So I have some years in psychology, years in therapy. I've been doing this maybe about over 10 years now. So I've had my share of fun. Actually, how Kil and I met, we were doing gang work together. So I've dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of everything in terms of mental health needs.
Right. So why do you do what you do? I mean, you do it, but that could just be your job. But with this till death,
I have a passion for adequate functioning relationships. And what that really means is that I really want people to function in their relationships. There's so much that happens to people that they don't even realize, that may have happened in their youth, may have been their relationship with their parents, that actually that's how they function in their adult relationships. So if you had a lot of abandonment and rejection with your parents, you're going to experience a lot of that in your adult relationships. And most people are not cognizant of that. So I really have a passion in trying to help people to see how they are functioning in their relationships and how it is, deterring what may be a great relationship for them just because they are unaware of the things that they are doing, the self-destructive behaviors that they may be participating in to have a functioning relationship. Yeah, that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Why do you do it, Kil?
I do this because I love the concept of marriage. I love what I think it is about. I mean, it's really the foundation for a family, And me growing up, my parents got divorced when I guess I was in first grade or something like that. And it was like, even just being a kid, it was always like, yo, I can't wait till I get married and I want to keep my family together. Yes. Yeah.
Never heard a guy really just say as a kid that they thought about
marriage.
I
think because, not really thinking about being married, but just, having to go through them. When you're a kid who's grown up with two parents who are separated, you deal with the visitation, you deal with the back and forth. Yeah. And like growing up, I hated that. Like I hated, especially as a little kid, when you're 6, you're in first grade. So it's the whole back and forth, who's picking me up today, whose house am I going to this weekend. As you get older, it's like now you got to plan your weekends accordingly to, well, am I going to be on this side of town? Am I going to be on that side of town? And everything like that. So just having to go through all that, and then, you deal with meeting your mom's, her boyfriends through time. You go through meeting your dad's girlfriends through time, and blended families, then blended families going apart. So it's just so much hoopla that I just kind of was like, I see it every day. I see it every day. And it was one of the things that was like, yo, me and T have been through a lot in 12 years. We've been through a lot of counseling. We've been through a lot of ups and downs. And my thing has always been the type of person I am, is I'm like, if I can help you get to where I am now, like in your first year of marriage, like I'd rather see that. Like I'm not that dude who's like, nah, you gotta go through hell just like I did. So I'm like, I want you to be able to have an easier walk than what I had. So
I remember when I told you I was engaged, and you was like, "You sure that's what you want to do?" And I was like, "But Dad, where's the congratulations?"
Ain't no congratulations from me.
But the piece of advice that you did give me in my first year of marriage, and even though I am a psychologist, a therapist, and I probably should have thought of this myself, but you said it is okay to be in therapy. And in my first year of marriage, because I did not live with my husband when I moved back, we had to go to therapy because it was just very different.
Right.
You know, just marriage is not easy, and you have to learn how to function in that married life. And it was probably the best piece of advice that you gave me. Other than I need to think like a mistress all the time.
Yeah, it's another piece of advice. But that's why.
But that's good advice too.
Great advice.
Great advice too.
But that's why we kind of do what we do. That's kind of why we started Till Death Info.
Well, we really started it because of the work that we were doing.
Right.
And just really seeing, we were working with these kids and trying to have a better life with these kids, but we realized that the missing component was that there was no parental guidance, and there was no functioning relationship with the parents. The parents didn't have authority over the kids, and half the kids didn't even know who their fathers were, and there were a couple that didn't even know about their mom. Didn't know who their mom was. So we, in that moment, it was like, oh my gosh, we just keep going back to the drawing board working with these children, and it's like we're doing great work with them, but if we're not affecting the whole family, then we felt like the work we were kind of doing was in vain.
Right. It was a waste of time.
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
You're working with them, the teachers are screwing them up during school, and then you get them for 3 hours after
some
school.
Teachers. There are some great teachers out there.
Some teachers.
Yeah.
Then you get them for 3 hours, and then you kind of drop knowledge on them. Then they go back home, and it's kind of like your 3 hours out of the 24 really don't amount to anything. So it was, let's try to start chopping it up with the families. And I'm always a procrastinator, so Roz was talking about doing the book, and I was like, yo, let's do it together. And I think that was like at Frank's birthday party at the bowling alley.
Oh my God, that was 2005?
That was a minute ago. And, that's how we kind of came up with the idea. It was like, well, let's start with the blog. Let's start with the videos. And the blog has grown. Like, if you haven't been down with us since the beginning, it wasn't no videos in the beginning.
No,
it was just me and Roz writing. And then it went to us doing individual videos.
Yeah,
and now we've grown to the point of two videos. We're both on the videos. And it's grown. We've been asked to come out and speak. We've been paid to come out and speak, which is a great thing because
we actually have an engagement coming up in February.
Right. Where are we at?
Anne Arundel Community College.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's grown, and prayerfully, we're hoping for great things in 2012. We want to get 2 books out this year.
Yeah. We are working diligently on that, guys.
Right.
Too.
We want to have a marriage conference this year out here in the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and prayerfully just do more things. We're talking things as if they are. So, we're trying to get a radio show, a TV show. So we're trying to do a lot. She's
really
TV, I'm radio.
Get the TV show, yeah.
So that's kind of just a rundown on why we do what we do. Because I know some people are like, Kil, I remember you from 90, and I ain't messing with no advice you giving, man. But that's a long time ago.
You give great advice. Even though I don't even think Kil realizes this, but he's quite the comedian, and I don't think he knows it, but he says it. Yeah, but he really is, and he says it in such a way that it makes sense that it's a bit controversial, but then you have to think about it. It's like, yeah, that dude is making a little sense.
Yeah.
So
and then not to mention, I talk so many of my married friends off the ledge every day.
Yeah.
So I'm just the dude who's gonna tell you things.
You tell the truth, and you're honest.
Like there is no, like you said, you get married. You sure you want to do that?
Oh my gosh, I was like, what should I know?
Because everybody else is saying congratulations.
Yeah, everybody else was like, oh, congratulations. Let me see the ring, and oh, have you planned today? And he was like, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah. So
I was like, are you hating?
It's not. And truth be told, people come. It may seem like that, but it was caring.
Nah, yeah,
I'd rather you understand the real about everything than to get caught up in the moment and.
Yeah, because I'm totally playing my wedding and not my marriage.
Right.
Which is why we've been therapy.
Right. But one of the things we wanted to do for 2012 is we get a lot of emails, we get a lot of questions. Even when we're out speaking, we stay hours afterwards with people coming up with questions, and it shows us that
There's a need.
Yeah, there's a need for what we do. It's a need for counseling, and we've gotten emails and stuff saying, you know, we love you guys because you look like us.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people that just means for a lot of, and I don't want to bring race into it, but for a lot of black folk, we don't want to go to counseling, period. And then it's even harder to go counseling and it's a white person sitting across from us because, you know, you feel like it's a disconnect.
No, you feel like they don't understand.
Right.
Your journey.
Right. And then at the end of the day, for me, I'm just a regular dude. I don't have a doctorate. I don't have none of that stuff.
But you are a communication specialist. I mean, come on.
I got a bachelor's in communication, but I'm just saying that I represent the average dude. You know, I'm the sports fan, producer, dude, and that's just it. You know, so I think a lot of men can relate to me too. So, you know, it is what it is. But all that to say that in 2012, one of the things that Roz and I decided to do was give away an hour of counseling once a month to a couple. You can email us at tilldeafinfo@gmail.com, and we're going to be doing it every month. We said two different couples. Two couples. An hour apiece. You know, we may Skype it, we may 3-4 way it or whatever on the phone.
Let me rephrase. We won't be doing counseling, we'll be doing coaching.
Right.
Yeah.
So, tilldeafinfo@gmail.com. You know, hit us up. And the first, you know, 2 emails we get from couples will be the ones that we're doing, and just doing it to try to help people.
And do understand that anything that you share with us will be confidential.
Right.
We will not put your business out.
Right.
So
prayerfully somebody will take advantage of it every month. And like I said, she's the real deal. So this isn't just, you know.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. You ain't no high school dropout. So you know, we want people to know that this is what she does for a living. This is how she charges people for what we're offering right now for free. So you know, she charges.
Absolutely.
So check us out. Continue to come back. tilldeafinfo.com, tilldeafinfo@gmail, and prayerfully y'all keep rocking with us for 2012.
Love you guys.
tilldeafinfo.com. Keep it locked.